And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Saturday Night Winestream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick, and tonight we're going to switch gears a little bit. We'll slow things down, relax, just breathe, just take it easy. Because, we have quite a weekend this weekend, and it's been quite a weekend so far. I want to say that it's been a really rough weekend for a lot of the country. We've had a few setbacks here tonight. As you can tell, the stream's a little bit late tonight. Got a little bit of a late start. And had a little bit to do with the weather. Anyway, here we are tonight on a Saturday night. And it's great to be here. And it's great to have you here with me. Of course, if you are watching me now, live on any of the venues that we're on, this is Drink with Rick. This is a stream of consciousness kind of show. Now, I do have my show notes, and they are right here, ready to go. I do have my show notes, and I do have an itinerary for tonight's show, but I don't always follow it verbatim. Sometimes I go really off the rails, not just because of my stream of consciousness, but from you, because you direct the show. It's your participation in the chats that direct this show. Because the show's not about me. Now, the show's somewhat about the wine. A little bit. It's a catalyst to get things going, get things moving. Because wine brings people together. That's what it does. This show is really about you and me getting together on a Saturday night, kicking back, relaxing with our favorite libations, our favorite snacks, whatever they are, and just having a great time, just spending some time with each other, forgetting about the worries of the world, the worries of the day, and just relaxing and just taking it a little bit easy, just a little bit of a break. That's all, just a little bit of a break from everything. This isn't really escapism. It's just kind of a break, because everyone needs a break, don't we? We all need a little bit of a break every now and then. And that's what this is for, and that's what we're doing tonight. Now, if you want to participate in the chats, get in the live chats, you can follow me. Get into the chat live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook. The Facebook page, let me pull that up, by the way. The Facebook page is, there it is. The Facebook page is Drink with Rick. And you can see it right there. Facebook page, facebook.com/drinkwithrick. YouTube channel is, it's a long URL. Just type in Drink with Rick in the search and you'll find it. You'll find it right there. Twitch is a little bit easier. Twitch is twitch.tv/drinkwithrick1. Drink with Rick and the number 1. Then we have Twitter. Twitter is @drinkwithrick. We're live on Twitter, so you can watch live there. You can tweet me if you want to. Send some tweet notifications. I'll try to check those throughout the show. And on Odyssey, we're on Odyssey, odyssey.com/@drinkwithrick and the :7. Drink with Rick and the :7. Very easy to find all of these venues. They're all over the place. And look, if you want to suggest another venue that we can try out, that you are on, that I am not currently, we can give that a try. And I'm always open for more avenues to chat with you and to spend time for us to spend time together on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. Of course, the podcast. Can't forget the podcast. Podcast version of this show goes out Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. And you can listen at your leisure on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Amazon Music, podcastindex.org, and by email. If you go to drinkwithrick.com, click on the subscribe page, click on the blue button that says by email, put your email address in the box, and you will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops, and no salesman will call. And of course, you can subscribe at any time. You can subscribe in all these venues, of course. You can unsubscribe if you want, but please don't. I mean, I'm not pushing the subscriptions too much, although I probably should, and that's how they say you grow your channel. But look, my primary interest right now isn't just growing a channel. Yeah, sure, everybody wants to do that. My primary interest is to connect with you and just spending time with you, because I'm having a great time doing this, okay? I don't really monetize the show per se. As a matter of fact, if I even started now monetizing the show, it would take me a long, long time to even get back what I put into it so far, okay? This has been a money-losing proposition for me. It's just something I do for fun, because I enjoy doing it. And as long as it's fun, as long as I enjoy doing it, as long as I can do it, then I will continue to do it. If there comes a time when I can't do it anymore, then that's when the show will end. But for right now, we're here and we're together. I certainly hope that you will stay with me for the rest of this season, because we're going to do some pretty exciting things. And also for the show, we've got a really exciting show for tonight. Let me get into the chats here. By the way, we don't talk about politics or religion on this show, okay? We talk about things that bring people together, not that tear them apart, but that bring people together. So I do ask that you please be kind and just be nice to everybody, okay? Just be nice. That's all. Okay. Let me show you what we have tonight. Tonight we are drinking an eggnog. I don't know much about this eggnog. I didn't really do a lot of research on it, but it's kind of generically, it just says eggnog. But it does have some wine in it. And I'll show you the back in just a moment, but let me show you what we have it's not really to pair it with, but because we really don't have foods to pair with eggnog tonight, but let me show you a wonderful dessert that my lovely wife, Chi, made. She gave me a little bit of to go with the eggnog, because this is kind of a dessert kind of night. And she made a blueberry strawberry cake. And Tom Antio has tried it, and he has told me earlier that it is very, very good. And I'm looking forward to trying it myself. This is what it looks like. That's the whole cake right there. She put this together, and it's just gorgeous. It's unbelievable. It's just amazing. She is so talented, not just as a chef, but she is so talented as far as her artistic abilities with food is concerned. I really am impressed with this, always impressed with what she's done. And we've showed off many of her creations on the show in the past, and I hope we will continue to do so, as she really, every week, she really does, she goes 110% on this, and she tops herself every week. I'm telling you, she does. So I'm learning, and this is a little applause for my lovely wife, Chi. That's for you, Chi. Wherever you are, I don't know if you're watching now, anywhere, probably somewhere. We're probably taking a break from me because you've been around me all weekend. It's been quite a weekend, by the way. And we have folks in the chat on Twitch. I want to acknowledge everybody who's joined me on Twitch. Kevin J. Ranke is in the chat on Twitch. And Kevin says, making a bit.ly for the Facebook page or a subdomain of your main site. Like social, drinkwithrick.com, that leads to a page with all of the accounts listed, or get a specific for all of them that just forwards to the service, i.e. Facebook or facebook.drinkwithrick.com, redirects to the Facebook page. Just an idea to make those URLs more user-friendly. Cheers. And thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate the comments on that. Actually, I haven't really made a bit.ly for it, and the reason that I haven't made a bit.ly for it, it's not a bad suggestion at all, actually. I'll give it more consideration. The reason up to this point that I haven't done bit.lys for it is more for your protection than anything else. And the reason is because I know there's a trust factor there, and I know that that folks here, that they can trust me, that I'm not going to put up bad links or anything like that, any of the bit.ly links or any of the shortened links you can trust. It's just that I know that there are some folks out there who do not click on those because they don't trust, and it doesn't matter. I can be completely trustworthy, but they're just very, very cautious, either because they've been told that it's a potential problem, or they've been bitten before by bad links. So as a courtesy to my viewers, I've pretty much laid out, that's pretty much how I've done it, is, yeah, it might be a long link, but I lay it out there so you can see. There's no, total transparency here. I have total transparency. It's just so that you can see where that link is going. And it's a great suggestion, Kevin. It's not a bad suggestion at all. I've wanted to do that. It's just, one of my previous careers was in IT. And I did that for a number of years and had a computer business, a computer store. And that was one of the things that a lot of my customers, a lot of my clients had been bitten with malware on, things like that, was some of these shortened URLs in there. And I'm sort of a little bit sensitive to that kind of thing for the sake of visitors to my site. But once again, it's not about. I'd love to be doing it, and I might probably revisit it again at some point here. And I appreciate the suggestion. I'm just not sure I'm ready to go with those shortened URLs just yet. Kevin says, "Well, you own the drinkwithrick.com, so use that with a subdomain." Yes, actually, he says drinkwithrick.com domain. Yes, I could do that. As a matter of fact, I could do that. Something I'm thinking about. I'll be honest, Kevin. I haven't. The time I spend on my website is sort of. There are times when I'll go in and I'll spend a day or so doing things to update it and whatnot, and then I can go a long time without really doing much updating at all, just doing kind of what I have to do, the general maintenance, because it's not the only website that I manage, and it's, how can I say this? I don't want to go too far in the weeds on this, but I'm glad I'm glad you brought it up. My day job, of course, I work for bytwowayradios.com. So my day job is managing the website, among other things. I do a lot of back-end management on the website. Did I say drink with Rick? Excuse me. I haven't had any wine yet. Here I am. No, my day job is bytwowayradios.com. I manage that site. I help manage that. And so I'm doing a lot of things on the back end of that site every day, 5 days a week. So when I get home in the evenings, I have a number of websites. If you actually go to savoyamedia.com, there are all those podcasts that my son Tom and I have done over the years, and that some that we continue to do. And some of them still have active websites, even though we don't actually actively do the podcast for some of those anymore. We left the sites up for legacy purposes, archival purposes. So I still maintain a lot of those sites. So I have about 7 or 8 different websites that actually more than that I maintain. So there's a lot going on there. So by the time I get home from work, I'll spend a little bit of time on some of these websites, but usually by the time I get home, the last thing I want to do is get on the internet and just mess with my own website. So to be honest, I need a different hobby. I do. Kevin says the cobbler's children are the worst shot. Anyway, where were we here? Let me check the other chats, and then we'll get right back into drinking and discussing about things. And once again, Kevin, anything you want to talk about, it's great. I'll be happy to talk with more about that sort of thing and take your ideas as well. Your ideas are always welcomed. Anyway, let me check around. It seems that we're quiet for the moment on some of the others. Facebook. Yeah, that's a topic I didn't want to approach last week, but I can approach it this week. Since we have about an hour or so, this is going to be a little bit shorter show tonight, folks. Basically because we're just sitting back and talking. But let's get into the eggnog first. I want to do a little drinking. And Kevin, by the way, what do you have to drink tonight? Hope it's something good. And CM Cinder, it's great to see you. I wasn't ignoring you, by the way. CM Cinder, it's great that you're in the chat, and I appreciate you being there. Oh, you're having an all-day IPA. So you're an IPA kind of guy. Very, very hoppy stuff, and I like a good IPA. My boss, Danny, he is really, really big on IPAs. That's his favorite thing. He loves IPAs. He's made his own beers and stuff, and he's really he's a hoppy guy. Had to get some kind of a bad pun in there. I mean, I wouldn't be Rick if I didn't try for the bad puns, would I? That's how we roll here. Anyway, so that's great. CM Cinder says, what does IPA stand for? IPA stands for India Pale Ale. That's an IPA, India Pale Ale. So anyway, let's go back to the wine here. And this is not really a wine. Well, it has wine in it. It's an eggnog. And I'm going to read the front a little bit, and there's a back side, but it's really small, hard to read. Old-fashioned taste of the season eggnog, other than standard orange wine with natural flavors. It's 13.9% alcohol by volume, and which translates to 27.8 proof. This is a wine cocktail. Let me show you the back of this. It says eggnog contains milk and eggs, of course, produced and bottled by Van der Hot, Mira Loma, California, 91752. Shake well before serving, refrigerate after opening, and best by 6/20/23. So we have a little time to drink this, but we're going to drink it tonight. And by the way, it says shake. Does it say shake well? It sure does. Shake well before serving. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to shake it up. I don't have any good shake music to go with this. Hey, you know what I do have? Hey, let's do it with more cowbell, because we need more cowbell. Early in the show for it, but I think we need more cowbell. So let's shake to the cowbell. I think it shook up pretty good, right? CM Center says, I didn't know there was an acronym for it. Well, there's not an acronym for it. It is an acronym. All right, so let's go ahead and open this. It's got a little tab thing. Let me get a close-up of this. There we go. So I have a little story to tell. Kevin, how are you doing, by the way? I'm not sure what part of the country you're in. I don't recall right offhand, but how are you faring through this? Because we have an awful storm, a nasty storm that's covering most of the country right now, and we were not immune to it. We got hit as well. Not as bad as a lot of the rest of the country, but we have had, it got down to about 8 or 9 degrees last night here in Charlotte. And it hasn't gone above 19 today that I recall. And it's supposed to go down again to like 17 degrees or something tonight. So this is pretty nasty. If you're wondering why I'm not in the usual garb, yes, I am. I still have it here, but I'm wearing this There's a story behind it, but we'll wait until we open this up and try it out, okay? I'm not going to aerate this. This is eggnog. Kevin says, West Michigan, we had a 3-day blizzard. I was on standby for my county's emergency management for ham radio and volunteering. Because Kevin is a ham radio guy, and as I am, and volunteering. That's really good, Kevin. That's great. And you know what? There is a lot of work involved in that, as you well know. But for those who are watching now, they really, for some of you out there that really don't know what goes into that, there's a lot of work involved, and a lot of hams are very involved in various ways in emergency management and emergency communications. Now, we've got this bottle open. I'm not going to sniff. Well, no. It's eggnog. All right, so I'm going to pour a little bit of this. And, this is heavy. Honestly, I'm not going to drink this whole thing. I'm just going to drink a little bit. There are some people that do not like eggnog at all. I respect that. I happen to like eggnog if it's well made, if it's good eggnog. I don't know anything about this eggnog except it's a wine cocktail and it has orange. Let's go back here. It did say orange. Didn't it say orange wine? Other than standard orange wine with natural flavors. Other than standard. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but there you go. Let me give it a little bit of a whiff. Wow. Okay, so it's eggnog with kind of orange flavors, that's different. Now last year, I'm doing this again this year because last year we opened an eggnog because I like eggnog, and we tried it out, and it was quite good. It was a wine-infused eggnog, and I really liked it. But it came from, I want to say it came from Aldi. Yes, it was from Aldi, I believe. And we went looking for it a couple of months ago. We went looking for another bottle of it this year because I wanted to have it again because I really, really enjoyed it. And I couldn't find it. I guess it was just a one-time thing. And actually, I didn't buy it. Chi bought it for me, as I recall. Well, so I went looking for a different eggnog, and I found this one in Total Wine. And before I get to drinking it, let me get the receipt. I got the receipt right here. I'm pretty sure I do. By the way, this eggnog has been sitting on the shelf here for a couple of months. By the way, in the background, waiting to be opened. It is. Well, maybe I don't have it. This is Trader Joe's. It's the wrong receipt. All right, where did it come from? All right, I lost the receipt for it. Okay, there we go. All right, well, I can tell you I paid about $10 for this bottle of eggnog. So we'll see how it goes. All right, give it a taste. Very interesting. By the way, I did forget to do it, didn't I? I poured it in my genuine Galway Irish crystal glass given to me by my employers at bytwowayradios.com, and I thank them for it. This is a really, really nice set. And it came with a really nice carafe that I've used before, and it's a really nice. This eggnog is pretty nice too, and it does have a little bit of an orange flavor to it. A little bit, kind of a hint of an orange wine. I kind of like this. I'm going to have a little more of it. Now, this is the kind of thing that you really don't glug, glug, glug. I mean, this is rich stuff. Eggnog is kind of rich stuff. So this is something you sip in front of an open fire. Like we have here. That's what this is for. So eggnog, really nice eggnog so far. Fresh from what I can see on the Best Buy date here. Oh, that works for me. Kevin says, what is a carafe? It's what you store. What the wine is. You pour the wine into a carafe. It holds. Like you'll take a bottle of wine, pour it. Generally, you'll aerate it and decant it. It's a decanter, is what it is. It's a decanter. It's called the one I have here is a carafe, but it's a decanter, basically, and you just pour it in, and as you aerate the wine in there, and it sits and it opens up a little bit more, and then you can pour the wine out instead of just pouring it straight from the bottle. So that's a carafe. It's a decanter. Kevin says, "Oh, interesting. Yeah, it is, and it's a really nice one. It was part of the crystal set that was given to me." Anyway, the eggnog, I'm liking the eggnog, pretty good. But I have something else. Yeah, this is a wine eggnog. Now I know a lot of people. There's some people. There are two camps here. Eggnog is something that you either like or you don't like. And some people love eggnog. It's a holiday tradition. Some people do not like eggnog at all. They despise eggnog. They hate it. It's nasty for them. They will not touch it. I happen to know a few people that do not like eggnog at all. And once again, I respect that. It's fine. It's not for everybody. I guess it's an acquired taste in some ways, but it's kind of a holiday tradition for many. I'm not drinking it just because of holidays. I'm drinking it because that's usually the only time it's available is around the holidays. So I like eggnog, so I'll go buy some when it's available and drink it. I just happen to drink it around the holidays. If it was available, the rest of the winter or in the fall or spring or summer, I'd probably drink it then too. But from time to time, it's a dessert drink. Eggs and milk, in there, and some sugar, and I don't know what else they put in there. But eggnog, I remember that when I was younger, I had a couple of favorite. There's some eggnogs that I didn't really care for. Some eggnog blends were not very good, and they were like too watery. I don't like them when they're too watery. This is okay, but I don't like the ones that were really, really too watery or made with like skim milk or something like that. I like more of a whole cream kind of thing. Now, a couple of the eggnogs that I used to buy, I'm trying to think of one of them. I think it was a Borden. When I was younger, Borden I think they had a decent eggnog. But the one that really comes to mind right away is T.G. Lee. That was a favorite of mine, and every year I made a point to go find the T.G. Lee eggnog. However, after some years, I couldn't find it anymore. And then some of the other eggnogs that I tried, I didn't like too much because, as I said before, they were too watery or they just didn't have a lot of flavor to them. So I quit drinking it for a little while, and then I discovered that there were wine-infused eggnogs in some places, and I just said, hey, I'll try one, and I liked it, and so I've had a few of those. This one is pretty interesting. This one is different because it has orange. It's I guess like an orange wine or wine with some orange infused in it and mixed in the mix, and so a little bit of orange. That's not bad. I kind of like that. And once again, it's something you sip. Not bad. I wouldn't say this is the best eggnog I've ever had. I've had better, but it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Now, having said that, CM Center says citrus eggnog, yes, you should try it. You might like it. You like eggnog, CM Center? You might like this. Now, this eggnog is pretty cold. We got to refrigerate it after opening, but I'm not too worried about it in the studio tonight, which is why I'm wearing this. Because here's what happened. Kevin, you've had a lot of really bad weather, 3-day blizzard up there in Michigan. Well, we're getting it here. We're getting another night of it. Not a blizzard per se, but just really, really cold air. I mean, wind chills. Yesterday we had some a pretty heavy wind that came by, so it got down to about 9 degrees last night, but the wind chill took it down to about 0, or just a little under 0, below 0, like -1 or -2. In Boone, in Blowing Rock and Boone, the mountain areas, they had, I think they were recording something around 30 degrees or so, minus 26 or minus 30, something like that. I think it was minus 26, if my memory serves me correctly. And so it was a pretty brutal night for a lot of people. So a lot of people lost power, and they did have some rolling blackouts going on because it was in such, the power was in such high demand for everybody trying to keep their homes warm that they started having some rolling blackouts. And I think some places just lost power altogether because of the high winds and everything. A lot of people lost power. We had, in our area, in our immediate area here in Charlotte, we had a couple thousand people in our general vicinity lose power, including us. And we lost power somewhere around 9:30 this morning. I want to say 9:30 or 10 this morning, 9:30. So we were all kind of sleeping in this morning. And then all of a sudden we just noticed it was really quiet, and we realized that we lost power. And the bad thing is that it was like 0 degrees outside, and so it didn't take long for the house to lose heat. Our house is not that well insulated, so we lost heat fairly quickly. So she went downstairs right away and started the fireplace, and then the rest of the day we kind of moved downstairs because it got really cold up here. It was but I think by the time the kids got up, it was like 58 degrees upstairs, and it was not much warmer downstairs. And we got down to about 54 degrees downstairs until the sun. Fortunately, it was sunny, but we had no electricity, so we really had no heat, and except for the fireplace. We kept that going all day. I think it's still going downstairs, and we wound up having to cook on the grill. We had plenty of propane, fortunately, and we wound up. She made a really, really nice breakfast. She cooked outside on the grill. The thing is that we didn't really have any power for anything else. She brewed the coffee out there on the grill outside, so which was pretty cool. So we had some hot drinks, but our power was out a good part of the day. It didn't come back on until about 3 in the afternoon, and it was pretty cold in the house. So when I came up here to the studio, after the power came back on, it was really cold. I don't know, I'm not sure how cold it was up here, but it felt like it was in the upper 40s in the studio. I mean, I felt like it was literally in a walk-in refrigerator. So and I knew it was going to take us hours to get back up to once we got the power on, the heat come back in the house, and they're still working on it. I think last I checked, it was only 64 degrees, so it's taking a long time to reheat the house, mainly because of the fact that we're having another cold night. Not as cold as last night, but still very cold, and so it's the heater is trying to not only catch up with the cold air in the house, is trying to fight the cold outside that we're dealing with now. So I bundled up like this. I'm in the studio. It's still, I would say it's about 60 degrees here in the studio now. So I'm just bundled up like this. And we started the show late because, for one thing, because I was unprepared. I had everything, when we lost power, I had everything set up for the show. So basically, all I had to do was kind of walk in and, do my show notes and get started. But unfortunately, the power went out, and when it came back on, I had to go in and fix a couple of things. and set up a couple things again, and so that took us a little bit behind here for the show tonight. But here we are. And Kevin says, I'm sorry to hear that. Luckily, no pipes burst. Wow, please, no. Knock on wood. Hopefully, no. I did secure the piping in the front and the back, kind of, covered them up real good. We have some things to cover up the spigots with to help kind of mitigate that somewhat. We do run the water a lot here. We've been running the water a lot today, and we're going to kind of keep a drip going here overnight. And people use the water here a lot, so we're not too worried about that, but you never know. You never know. The pipes can burst. But, Kevin, you guys had a blizzard. That was pretty extreme. I mean, did you lose power? Did you lose power up there at all? CM Center says, we have the fireplace on downstairs. Yep. It's still on. Yeah, Kevin, the situation here I don't think is quite as bad now that the power's back, but because the power came on later in the afternoon, and we had to kind of catch up with things up here. It just it threw everything off. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do the stream tonight. As a matter of fact, my son, he and his friend wanted to do a live stream building their new PCs earlier this afternoon, and they kind of planned on it up here, right here in the studio, and I kind of moved this camera over a little bit to accommodate them for it. But because of everything that happened, we lost the power. They couldn't do it. We had to. They're going to postpone it. I think they're going to do it tomorrow. Kevin says, luckily, no power loss. The wind is what made it real bad. Lots of high drifts made some road impassable. I didn't hear of any major incidents, luckily. Well, that's good to hear that there were no major incidents, although I have heard of various places where there were some really, really serious situations. I understand that there were some casualties from this, and I think I heard somewhere where there was a huge pileup on the road because of this. So it's but that's good that you didn't lose power. I mean, losing power is a terrible thing here when you've got something as bitterly cold as it's been across the country. It gets really dangerous. Yeah, the wind made it. The wind is what always makes it really bad, because you got that wind chill factor that just drives whatever the temperature is down another extra 10 to 15 degrees, sometimes more than that. In some areas around here, they were warning everyone that to stay indoors, don't go outside, because you could be outside 15, 20 minutes and get frostbite. It was that cold, even if you're bundled up, really warm. And they're saying that, bundle up in layers so you can peel layers on and off, and make sure that you're not just wearing plain old gloves, but you're wearing really insulated winter gloves for this, and good shoes. I saw some of our neighbors were out walking around this afternoon, and I thought, wow, that's kind of insane, because I didn't want to go outside at all. It was like, this is not. Now, I did go outside a little bit because we had to go gather some firewood from the backyard and bring it up here to the porch. So I didn't have to go outside. We did go outside. She, as I said earlier, she had to cook outside this morning because we didn't have power, and it was pretty cold for her. She was really feeling it, and I said, you got to get in at some point. You just got to get in and take a break from that. But I was outside. I set up a solar panel outside. Kevin, you'd be interested. I mean, we sell by two-way radios. We sell these solar panels. We've got a 40-watt solar panel that we sell, and I have one. I have the prototype for it that I had to write the manual for, and I had the prototype for it here. And it was fortunate that I did, because since we had no power, but it was a sunny day. The sun was out. So I set up the solar panel, and we were charging all our cell phones on it. I charged, where's my emergency radio? It's right here. Charged this, this emergency radio we used today too. We used it this morning to get the NOAA alerts and stuff on the status of the storm or the cold weather. And this one has a solar panel on the top, which I set up and charged that up, so it's fully charged. See, that's fully charged there. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. There's the battery. It says fully charged, and these things last a while. This is a Midland ER310, by the way, and it's you can charge it from the solar charging. It's USB, and it'll charge other USB devices too. And it has built-in. It has Cree LEDs on it. The Cree are the really nice ones, really bright. It has AM/FM radio on it, NOAA weather radio with weather alerts, and oh yeah, it has the crank. Of course, you can hand crank it like this. I did this a little bit today, and it'll help keep the battery charged. It also takes a really big lithium battery. It has a nice lithium battery in it, but it also takes AA batteries. They're not in here at the moment because we ran out of AA's. As I said, it was pretty cold today, and we used up whatever we had. So it has a telescopic antenna on it. It's kind of cool. It's a really nice radio. Anyway, we sell them at By2Way Radios, by the way. And this one has a dog whistle. This has a dog whistle, and you know, my boss thinks that the dog whistle is the silliest thing. But I'll be honest, I kind of think the dog whistle is kind of neat, and the reason is because with the dog whistle, it's like if you get lost somewhere, if you're out in a blizzard or something, for instance, and you get stuck somewhere or lost and they can't find you. You put the dog whistle on, and of course they send the dogs out looking for you. The dog can hone in on the signal and find you. That's the purpose of the dog whistle. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I've never heard the dog whistle myself. I did, for Tommy's dog, I did play around with it once, and it really annoyed the heck out of the dog at first. And then he started ignoring it because he was like, okay, you're messing with me now. So, but I tell you what, if you want to, you can go to buy2wayradios.com and pick one up. Everybody should have an emergency weather radio. And of course, I've mentioned this so many times before, but you can go to buy2wayradios.com and get, I mean, we sell all kinds of radios here. We sell ham radios, GMRS, FRS radios, CB radios, business radios. We really specialize in business radios. We sell all these other radios as well. And marine radios, airband radios, all kinds of radios. Now, if you do go to, of course, we do have the weather radios, the emergency weather radios. Now, if you do go to buy2wayradios.com and get an emergency weather radio, you can, here it is. You can get 5% off with promo code WINESHOW. That's WINESHOW. WINESHOW. Thank you. You can use that promo code, and it's good for 5% off anything on the site at buy2wayradios.com. Now, once again, for full disclosure, because I've mentioned it many times before, I work for By2Way Radios. I'm the product manager for By2Way Radios. I don't get anything extra. This is not any kind of an affiliate thing or whatever, because I don't get anything extra for doing this. It's just my boss gave me a promo code and say, hey, give your viewers and listeners a promo code so they can save some money. I mean, trust me, we make 5% less, because we don't jack up the price and then take 5% off. We don't do that. It's a real 5% discount. So that's my FTC disclaimer here. Anyway, Kevin says, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. So Kevin says, where would your son have gone live? I'd like to watch. He has, I appreciate that. Thanks for asking, Kevin. Let me see if I can pull it up here right now. He's got his own website. Let me pull it up. It's, I have a link to it right here. There it is. right here. Okay, let me switch over to that. Cube Command. He and his friend Nick Hernandez. They operate Cube Command. They do the Cube Command podcast. It's a podcast, and they do some streaming. They stream some of their games, and they do a lot of live streaming here and there. And they've done some videos. I've shown a couple of their videos in the past, the baking videos and such. But they do the streaming. I think he generally streams his on Twitch. I think he multi-streams on YouTube as well, but it's mostly on Twitch. And I think theirs is Cube Command, Twitch /Cube Command. He also has another channel on Twitch that's Tom Antio, and that's what he does here. But I think his main stream that he does is going to be for Cube Command on Twitch. I'm not sure if they're going to do it tomorrow 100%. If he's in the chat, if he comes in the chat here later, then he could probably give us the lowdown. Maybe CM Center, maybe you can ask him for sure. I think he did talk about trying to do it tomorrow. And what they want to do is they want to, he and Nick are both building new PCs, gaming PCs, and they want to do a live stream and do the build live on the stream, and which I think is pretty cool. So, but they want to do it together in tandem because they're basically building, one for each of them, basically the same, with the same components and everything. So it should be a very, very interesting stream. It should be pretty cool. So, and by the way, my son does work with me also at buy2wayradios.com. And oh wow, I wish I could show you some of the stuff he did. He did all these beautiful banners. We just finished doing our holiday promotions. 4 weeks, a whole month of holiday promotions, and he did such a fantastic job doing all of the graphics, the banners, things like that. He does all of our production for the video version of the Two-Way Radio Show podcast. Two-Way Radio Show podcast that we've been doing for almost 12 years now. We're one of the longest running podcasts for two-way radios in general. I'm not talking about ham radios, because there are plenty of ham radios, like Ham Radio Now and Ham Nation and all those. I'm talking about for just two-way radios in general, not specifically for ham or anything like that, because we talk about all kinds of radios. But we've been doing that one. We're one of the longest running podcasts for that. Almost 12 years. Anyway, we just recently doing the last 3 or 4 months, we've been doing a video version of the podcast, releasing video clips of the podcast, and Tom has been producing those. So he's been doing a lot of production for us this year. Kevin says the Weather Channel came to a nearby town to cover the storm. You could get NOAA weather on your ham radio also. Yes, you can. And you know what? All of my ham radios are over there, except for the ones downstairs at the moment. I have several handhelds. Did I bring one of them up here? No, I didn't. No, I did not. Usually I keep several radios here. I keep several handheld ham radios up here. I've got a whole bunch of them across the studio where I do a lot of my product photography, and I got a whole bunch of them up there, and a lot of them are the import radios like TYT and Ocean, because we're TYT and Ocean dealers. What some people call Wuxang or Wushin. It's actually pronounced Ocean. But we have a number of them over there. I have a couple of the, what do I have over there? I've got a couple of the, I can't really see them too well over there. I think they're over there, of the mobiles over there as well. I have an Ocean, I think I have a 1000G over there, the GMRS radio, and an XS20G over here. I have an XS20G in the car that we listen to. And I was monitoring the GMRS, the local GMRS repeater channel. GMRS, it's grown in the last couple of years, and They're just GMRS repeaters all over the place that rival the number of ham repeaters now. It's just amazing. And it's kind of funny, though, because a lot of the GMRS folks are guys that either want to be hams or they are hams also, and they just decide to get a GMRS license as well. And now they're doing nets. Kevin, I don't know. I know you know what a net is, but seriously, I mean, ham nets are all over the place, but GMRS nets are a big thing now too. It's pretty wild. And a lot of the GMRS crowd that are doing this now are really adopting, it's kind of interesting. They're kind of adopting a combination of ham and CB as far as how they conduct these, because you'll hear people saying 73, and all this for closing with, and which is a ham thing, and then they give the call signs and all that, and they do when they conduct the nets, they do it in the same with the same protocol that they would conduct a ham net, but some of these people will also. Some of the GMRS users will also use CB codes, 10 codes. I hear them using 10 codes sometimes, which I think is pretty interesting. Because, hearing 10 codes on GMRS, so I don't know. But anyway, Kevin says, I'd love you to see you do more ham radio content and watch a stream dedicated to that. Well, thanks, Kevin. You know what? I can leave a couple of links. Let me see if I've got something I can leave in here. Now, I don't want to bore everybody else. For those who are not into so much the ham and the GMRS, the radio stuff, I don't want to bore everybody else with it. But I think it's a great discussion, actually. I thought about doing it. We have thought about live streaming the company why. Truth Tellers is in the chat also on YouTube, and Truth Teller has a Christmas tree there, and right back at you. Happy holidays to you, Truth Tellers. Great to see you in the chat. Tell me what you're up to and how your holiday weekend is going so far. Let me see if I can pull one of these up real quick. Let me go to Buy Two-Way Radios. We have a lot going. I'm not sure if you're familiar with I can't even type today. I had to use one of my last AA batteries to replace the one in my mouse for this machine here just before the show started, because it started failing on me, and I wonder if the cold might have had something to do with it. But let me see. Let me send you a link to the blog here, so you can see some of the video stuff that we do. Actually, better yet, why don't I just send you to the YouTube channel for Buy Two-Way Radios. So I'll put a link in there on Twitch for you. Here you go. There's the. Let me get that in there for you real quick. I'm jumping around from stream to stream here. Okay. Here you go, Kevin. There's a link for you to the Buy Two-Way Radio's YouTube channel. We also do our podcast once again. That's on our blog and wherever you can find a podcast. So, and we have done some live streaming. We did our most recent live stream. We actually did it right here from the studio just a few weeks ago, was when we were starting the holiday promos. I didn't really promote that here on this show because I kind of keep a separation here between my work life and my drink with Rick life. I don't try to mix the two of those too much, but we do use the studio, especially during COVID. We did. That was one of the main reasons that I pretty much redid the whole studio, was so that we could do some production for Buy Two-Way Radio, so that we could do here in the studio. And we did a live stream about 3 weeks ago. Tom's in the chat. He could tell me exact dates. We did. It was about 42, 43-minute live stream that you can actually still watch on YouTube, and it's as a video on demand thing. But it was going through all of the specials that we had going on during our Cyber Holiday sale, during Cyber Monday. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and that week after Cyber Monday. So we did this whole 30-second promo, and we did a whole 42-minute stream where we just went through each one of the deals and gave a lot of details on what was going on. And I had all the radios set up here too. I had my 935G, which I really, really like, my KG 935G up here. And which is actually, if you're familiar with the Ocean radios, it's actually a version of the KG UV8H, which is a very, very popular radio, dual band radio with a nice color screen and all this sort of thing. And but it's a GMRS version of it, which is really cool. So that's what I was listening to today when I was monitoring it, the local repeater up here, which some great conversations on it, by the way, some personal conversations. Now, when I say great conversation, here's my thing. Oftentimes, what I hear with a lot of the GMRS crowd and the ham crowd to a certain extent is they talk about the radios, and I don't want to go into a big thing about it, but it's just that I sometimes I find it a little ironic because I think, okay, wait a minute, they're going to buy a radio so they can get on the radio and talk about the radios. To me, I don't know that that's the best use of the radios. But with the GMRS crowd, that's basically what they're doing. They get on, and a lot of them talk about the radios. So it was really refreshing today to listen in and hear actual conversations going on with a family, because that's what GMRS is. That it's really more of a service that's a general purpose utility service. And I could hear a family talking about things. And I thought, well, this is really refreshing because I'm not just listening to, a bunch of local guys talking about their antennas, which antenna is better, and which antenna they're trying this week, and which new radio they've gotten, and what they're doing to tweak up the antennas, and what kind of. I don't want to get too much into that. It's just I just find that kind of funny that if I'm going to spend $100 on a nice radio, I'm going to get it and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it for things I need to use it for, not necessarily to just get on the radio and say, hey, I'm testing out the radio. I'm trying this antenna with it and that antenna with it. That's just me. Okay, that's just me. And I'm not disparaging those guys. I'm really not. I mean, for a lot of them, it's a hobby. But for me, it's a utility, and it's really kind of nice to just kind of hear these guys get on and talk about other stuff, just other stuff besides just the technical aspects of the radio, which is cool. And Kevin, which is why I think that what you're doing is really, really important, because this is a good use. What you're doing is an excellent use of radio that I'm all for. And what you're doing is you're doing this for emergency communications, getting on and helping those who are having to deal with the emergency weather situations, that sort of thing. That is an excellent use for radios. It's perfect use for it, and I commend you on that. I do. So. Anyway, didn't really mean to go too long on that, but I do have one more surprise. I promised everybody I would cut it short. Of course, I've started late, but we're going to cut a little bit short tonight. I do have one more thing, just one more thing, as Columbo would say. I have a second bottle of eggnog. Yes, this is a second bottle of eggnog. Let me go to camera 2 this time. All right, this is a second bottle of eggnog. This is an Evan Williams original Southern eggnog. Now, what's different about this eggnog is that it does not, it's not really a wine eggnog. This is something a little bit different. Let me go back over here for a minute and change. Yeah, I got to switch out these things manually. Okay. This is an eggnog that I did not take a picture of, but I'll tell you what is in this eggnog. Evan Williams Original Southern Eggnog, made with Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, blended whiskey, rum, and brandy. So there is 15% alcohol by volume, or it's 30 proof. And actually, according to this, what was this? It was 27.8 proof. So this is a little bit higher alcohol content than the first one we tried. Now, I'm not planning to mix these two together in the same glass. What I have is a second genuine crystal glass, not a Galway one, but it's the second one. Also a genuine, I think it's genuine. There we go. That's nicer. So we're going to open this up and we're going to try a little bit of it. Now, this is something we don't do very often on the Winestream because it's generally a Winestream, right? Yeah, of course. So, what I've got here, let me go to the camera. There we go. This other camera. There we go. Is something with a little bit of rum in it and some whiskey. A couple of whiskeys. This is a whiskey blend and a rum. So, let's pour a little bit in here and let's try it. Better cap this so I don't have an accident with the bottle. That has happened before. Give it a little bit of a whiff here. Ooh, that smells nice. All right, let's see how this whiskey compares with... where's my clapper? Take two. Okay, let's see how this eggnog compares to the other eggnog. Wow. Yeah, there's definitely a little more eggnog. There's definitely a little more alcohol in this eggnog. And there seems to be a little more eggnog in this whiskey, too. All right, let's try it again. I think I'm starting to like this one better than the other one. Now, having said that, looking up close at this, it says real eggnog is blended with Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey and other fine spirits, then finished with holiday spices for this original Southern-style holiday cocktail. Prepared and bottled by Old Evan Williams Distillery, Bardstown, Kentucky. Now, this has a copyright of 2020 on it. It says it's ready to serve. Ready to serve, chill and enjoy. Rich, smooth, evanwilliamsnog.com. And yes, it does say, it does have a copyright date of 2020 on here. Now, I hope this is not a 2020 vintage, because eggnog doesn't really last that long. It's a seasonal thing for a reason, because it's not like a whiskey or straight whiskey or rum or anything like that, or a wine that can last for a long, long time, for an extended period of time on the shelf. It is more like a beer, or the beers, they have an expiration date. The beer's no good after a while. So, I don't know. Am I taking a chance on this? I don't know, but what a chance it is. That's pretty tasty. I like it. I like this eggnog. I'll give this one 2 thumbs up. The other eggnog I think is okay. This one's okay, but I think I'm liking the this other one, the Evan Williams eggnog, a little better. And maybe that's because of the rum in it, because I do like rum. Don't have it very often, but I do like rum. We had some last night before the power went out. Tom Antio and I made a little rum and coke, and I made a grasshopper. Now, if you don't know what a grasshopper is where you take a part of cream de menthe and a part of cream de cocoa and put a little light cream in it, one part of light cream, and mix it up together, and it's green. They call it a grasshopper, and I hadn't had one in years, so I kind of wanted to try it. So that's what I did. Anyway, so where was it? Okay, well, I think we're probably going to close it up here shortly. There are some other things that I wanted to let you know about, but we're going to talk about them next week. I think that's really the best time to do that. And next week, of course, is going to be New Year's Eve. So we are doing a New Year's Eve special. We're going to do a special New Year's Eve show, and we are going to play the drinking game. Just a short one of it. We're not going to go 2.5 hours like we did last week. We're going to do a short version of the drinking game, just 2 or 3. And I'm going to be giving away some prizes at the end of the show. So this is going to be next Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. So please join me here, 10 p.m. Eastern, next Saturday night. We'll do the wine drinking game. You could win a prize. We are going to be giving. I love to give stuff away, so I'm going to be doing giveaways for the winners. And it's easy to play, and no drinking is on your part is required. Okay, it's a drinking game, but it's on this end. You don't have. There's no drinking required. The Real Cynthia is in the chat on YouTube. The Real Cynthia says had some sparkling rosé. Well, it's great to see you, by the way, and I hope you're having a nice evening and a happy holiday. And a sparkling rosé, I like a good rosé. If it's not too sweet, is the sparkling rosé? Is it kind of dry? It's probably a little drier rosé, right? There's some very, very nice rosés out there. By the way, I had a couple the other night. We had one the other night during the first edition of the drinking game, where someone guessed rosé. And lo and behold, that's what I pulled out of there, was a rosé. I didn't know what was going to be in there, but I pulled out a rosé, and I think he got a point that kind of took him over to more of the winning side. So that was quite unexpected. I knew there were some rosés in there, but I didn't know how many, and mostly reds and whites. I like a good rosé, yeah. Well, it's great, and it's great to have you here, Cynthia. By the way, I have a surprise for everybody that I want to unveil next week on the New Year's edition. We're going to be celebrating the new year. It's going to be a special episode, so I hope you'll come and celebrate it with me. We will be opening a wine and reviewing it, but it's mostly going to be just kind of a celebration for the new year, bringing in the new year, and I've got playing the wine drinking game, and actually, I don't really need to open one, do I? Because I've got the wine drinking, and we have all these potential ones to open during the game. So I hope you'll join me for that. Maybe you'll win a prize. Please be there for that. And for those of you who've been watching in the chat, have not really jumped in, it's okay. Kevin says, what will you be discussing? You mean next week? Next week. Well, here's the itinerary. Next week, we're going to play a few rounds of the drinking game. And I've got, we're going to be giving away the prizes, but I also have a couple of, I have a surprise for you. And I may have a new film to show you. One of my short films from back in the day when I was doing my Super 8 shorts. I may have a new film to show you if I can get it ready in time. Hopefully I will, but looking forward to showing it, and I think you'll enjoy it. And we'll have a lot of fun. Open chat and talk about whatever you want to talk about. And CM Cinder says, heading off the stream for now. Night, everyone. Good night, CM Cinder. And I'm glad you were here. And I want to say it's probably time for us to close up too. It's getting a little bit warmer in here, and I think that has more to do with this eggnog with whiskey and rum in it than the air. Kevin says, very cool, looking forward to it. Stay warm. And you too, likewise, my friend. Thank you for being here tonight. And stay safe. Quite a blizzard, quite rough conditions up there in Michigan and pretty much all over the country now. I just hope it's going to be a little warmer for next week for everybody so we can all have a better time for the new year. Anyway, it's time to go for the night. And before we go, there is one more. Where is he? Oh, he's right there. He's waiting in the wings. There's one more person I'd like to be. Well, he's not really a person. I'd like to bring him out because he does have a special message for everyone. And that is no one other than. Do I have a drum roll on here? No, I don't have a drum roll. I've got, whatever. I got to get a drum roll. It is no one other than Roadkill Bill. His squeaker's a little out. It's just been so cold in the room, hasn't it? Roadkill Bill, the inimitable, the flattened, the chewed up Roadkill Bill. And of course, his message is. Oh, yeah, I forgot to, here, you get applause, Bill. You get some applause. You get applause. Bill says, well, he doesn't really say anything. He just kind of squeaks. Bill's message to everyone out there, especially during the holiday season, is please do not drink and drive. Drink in the comfort of your home, your apartment, your hotel room, your dwelling, wherever it is. If you have to go somewhere, if you have to drive, don't drive. Call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a cab, call a friend, call a bus, call, who are you going to call? Call somebody you trust and who's sober to come pick you up. But it's really best to just stay put if you can, okay? If at all possible. Do not drink and drive. Think about others as well as yourself. Do not text and drive either, because it's also very dangerous. Because I want you to have a great week. But most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can join me here again next week, along with Roadkill Bill and friends, and we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.